Hello and welcome to the weekend edition of The Buck Stops Here. We're a country of 1 billion people, one of the top 10 economies in the world in terms of GDP. Yet, we're a dud when it comes to sports. Well, apart from cricket, of course. At the 2012 London Olympics, countries like Kazakhstan, Jamaica and Tunisia finished with more medals than us. And today, a stark reminder of why and how those athletes who do the country proud, who do win medals at international fora, do it despite the system. Tanima Biswas reports on the shocking apathy towards and the mistreatment of differently abled athletes. Substandard facilities, no ramps or special toilets, beds or drinking water at the 15th National Para-Athletic Championships being held in Ghaziabad. Which leads us to ask, have we let down our para-athletes?
Strips of plywood that are supposed to pass off for ramps. No clean toilets, even the rooms are filthy. These are the conditions in which almost 600 differently abled athletes are being housed for the 3-day-long National Paralympics meet being held at Matiala village of Ghaziabad. Most of the buildings in the complex are still under construction. At least 20 athletes from each state are being cramped up in a small hall room which is not even being cleaned.
Also in Chennai, 8 medals.
Vijay Sardi from Chennai has come all the way to participate in this event with 9 other team members. They have won 4 gold medals in the wheelchair race category and 3 silvers in javelin throw. But they cannot use the toilet which is on the first floor of the building because the wooden planks placed as ramps are unstable and unusable.
Members with collected goes to rooms and toilet and somebody ground.
और यहाँ पे हमने सुना कि बहुत सारे लोग बाहर जाके बाथरूम यूज नहीं करते हैं।
बाथरूम एक यूज कहाँ करेंगे मैडम?
अच्छा, मतलब बाथरूम बने नहीं हैं।
बने नहीं मैडम, टोटली कुछ नहीं अंदर पानी का देखो।
Athletes also complained that the venue has been set up in the middle of fields over 3 kilometers off the highway and over 2 kilometers from the nearest village or store. With no transportation made available, athletes were at the mercy of organizers and their ill-equipped facilities. However, the organizers blame budget constraints.
स्पोर्ट्समैन है कि नॉन स्पोर्ट्समैन है जो उनके सपोर्टर हैं, वो ज़्यादा संख्या में आने की वजह से ये सारी थोड़ी बहुत अव्यवस्था हुई है। इनको हम लोग आगे के लिए ध्यान रखेंगे। तो हमारी भी जानकारी यही कि 2 लाख का बजट होता है इसमें। अब 2 लाख का बजट तो आप खाने में देखेंगे कि 40 आदमी खाना बनाने में लगे हुए पिछले 4 दिन से।
बहुत अच्छा, तालियों की गड़गड़ाहट के साथ खिलाड़ियों का स्वागत करें।
But ill treatment of these athletes has sent shockwaves across the sporting community in the country. The Sports Ministry is now seeking an inquiry.
I can just tell you that they treat athletes, the sportspersons, like their slaves.
Little or no dignity being shown to these athletes despite the fact that they are winning medals for the country on an international level. Organizers here say that most of the problems which they faced at this event is largely due to budget constraints. But does the state of affairs over here show a reflection of the apathy that sporting body authorities here in the country have for differently abled athletes? With camera person Tom Joseph, reporting from Ghaziabad, Tanima Biswas for NDTV.
All right, so there you have it. Yet another example of the state of affairs in our country when it comes to the treatment of our sports athletes. We have joining us now to discuss this further. We have Mr. Satya Narayana, the COO of the Paralympic Committee of India. We have Mr. Njiti Srinivasan, he's the Director General of the Sports Authority of India. Rahul Mehra, sports activist, and of course Ashwini Nachappa, international athlete. First and foremost, Mr. Satya Narayana, let's go to you first. Why such a shoddy job, such a callous job? This really is a national shame. This is a Paralympic federation that's organizing an event and you have no toilets for the differently able.
See, everybody says this is not available, that is not available. But what I am saying, nobody is coming forward to organize for any para-athletic championship in our country. That is a big disadvantage. From last 2 years, you are unable to organize any national championship for the athletes. If this year, if I don't organize before 31st of March, our athletes nearly 7 crore rupees advantage, they are going to lose it. This is the reason you were requested for the lot of people, our country, lot of our affiliated units. Then they said, everybody said it's not possible. Then you were requested our friends. Then they agreed to organize this. Within 25 days, they made arrangements. In between, they told this championship requesting to kindly postpone it. But it cannot be postponed very early, before 31st March has to complete. This championship is a year of 14 and 15. Even 13 and 14 you are not organized any championship for the para-athletes. And definitely now in our country Paralympic is coming up. Before not knowing the much people, even 550, 600 athletes were expected. Now is come more than 1,200 athletes. This is very difficult to organize for the organizers to make arrangements within a span of 2-3 hours. That is one cause for the, maybe all small mistakes are there, definitely will agree it. But our athletes, really major athletes, the competition went very well. We are very happy to see big participation has come.
At least we're grateful that you're accepting that things went wrong, that somebody was responsible, will be held responsible. But if you did not have the funds, why did you go ahead with this event? Why do you put our athletes through such humiliation? If you're saying that you only got 2 lakhs from the sports ministry, why didn't you go to the government and say, look, we just can't do this. You're giving us peanuts. It's impossible to do something like this.
See, this event to organize, Government of India or state government is not paid even 1 rupee for this event to organize. But our athletes, if I don't conduct 31st of the March, they lose lot of facilities. That is the reason you are requested. Even organizers also, they told very difficult to organize para sports. Then also you are put on the pressure to work them to this year you have to organize. That is the main reason to make a advantage to athletes, not for the any advantage or taking for the bad name to take for the organizers. Our motivation also to promote for the athletes. Now, after HN Girisha winning the medal in Paralympics, government is made a equal cash award, equal facilities. Then the lot of para athletes are started coming. Last year, Paralympic Sports Academy is organized HN Girisha in Bangalore 2013. 14, the championship is not conducted. Nearly 400 to 500 athletes, they lost their benefits. That is the reason this year also.
So how come Bangalore managed to pull it off if Bangalore had the basic facilities? We're not asking for anything too fancy, simple facilities, drinking water, toilets, a bed, right? If Bangalore had that, why did you choose Ghaziabad then? Why did you choose in this complex in the middle of nowhere with no transportation facilities, so that these athletes are solely dependent on the federation, and the federation is not even providing the basics for them?
No, madam, see, actually I am an international athlete. I know very well, even my athletes, para-athletes are definitely facing a lot of problem. Not only here, without suddenly, within a one day, 600 athletes to suddenly 1,200 athletes are come. The organizers unable to provide for the even transport.
All right, sir.
Problem.
All right, sir. But I think any lay viewer who's watched our story right now will ask you a simple thing like a ramp. This is an event for Paralympians. How can you not have a ramp? We all saw the visuals there. That is not a ramp, sir. I'm sorry. It's a piece of wood. It's a plank on a stair. There is no support. How is anybody supposed to wheel themselves up that?
No, what I have provided, you have provided a good competition. Good competition you are provided. Our major all athletes are participated for the selection for the next, our coaching camp is going to happen on the April 1st. Within a 15 days our camp is going to start. You are already selected around 30 athletes for the Rio Paralympic preparation, and also Open India you are conducting on the from May 2nd to 12 May 9th. For that is the reason you have to conduct this championship. There is no any other alternate.
All right, let's go across to Mr. Njiti Srinivasan, Director General of Sports Authority of India. Mr. Srinivasan, you heard Mr. Satyanarayana there, but the question is, Why give them such a small budget? How do you expect them to do anything, provide the basic facilities if the budget is so small?
I think we'll have to get certain things very clear. Every national sports federation has a primary duty of promoting the sport and organizing the national championship. This is their primary duty. And when the Indian athlete participates in an international event, all the expenditure towards their camps, towards their international exposure, sports science support, food supplement, everything is borne by the government on par with what is done for able-bodied sports persons. So the budget which has been made available is no excuse. This is just a partial grant which is given. The primary responsibility is theirs. And when they have whatever has happened is totally unacceptable. And I don't think, they should find excuses for that. There was a whole year to plan for the event. You don't have to say that you had only 15 days or 10 days. You have your state units. And if you did not have the capacity to hold the event, they could have specifically come to the sports authority or to the government and made a specific request. Because last week they had made a request for the national, paralifters. And we organized all facilities for them in the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium.